Thank you, Mrs. Mutala. You may testify seated. And before the council release you in evidence of defense, may I find out from you, Mrs. Mutala, whether you have been in court before?
Bangasembutisa shibutisa mani mshwa makhe mshwa mosungula kuta ekhoto namuhla kumbe mitshama mita eka nkarhi lowu nga hundza mosungula nyamuhla. It's my first time. I've never been in court before.
Thank you. I want you to understand that the visit or your testimony here today is only to assist the court in determining what really happened between 2012 and 2018 when the accused, your daughter, was arrested. Nothing else. And I want you to relax. Nobody's going to put unnecessary pressure on you, and just tell us what you do.
Ngingisela nke makhe mshwana leswi mi nga tela swona namuntlha I ku ta pfuna huvo ku ta pfuna khoto leswaku yi kota ku twisisa yi kota ku tiva leswaku ku humelele yini kusukela hi lembe leriya ra 2012 ku fika hi lembe ra 2018 loko n'wana wa n'wina muhehliwa yena Nomia a khomiwa sweswo ntsena ku hava swin'wanyana ma swi twisisa. I understand it.
Thank you. Please proceed,
Thank you, my lord. Ms. Mushwana, it's common cause that you are a mother of the accused before this court.
Se astiva makhe mshwana leswaku n'wina n'wina mhani wa Nomia loyi a nga muhehliwa la mahlweni ka huvo a ne ri swona. Yes.
And how was the relationship between you and the accused man?
Nga kota ku hlamusela ku vutomi a byi ri njhani exikarhi ka n'wina mi ri vambirhi?
Ka mina Nomia.
Ka n'wina Nomia.
No, vutomi bya ha byi ri kahle.
We had a good relationship.
And during 2013, around June, where were you staying, man?
Hi lembe leriya ra 2013 mani mshwana ka n'hweti ya June a mi tshama kwihi? New Forest.
New Forest is correct, that is in Bushbuck Ridge.
New Forest leyi mi vulaku yi le Bushbuck Ridge swona? Yes.
And Ms. Mushwana, how do you know Nomia Ndlovu?
Nomia Ndlovu mi tivana na yena njhani? Marito yan'wanyana I yini na n'wina Nomia Ndlovu?
I ntukulu wa swivava ba kokwana wa yena I last born ka vana va yena.
Ntukulu wa? Ntukulu. She's a grandchild.
And during 2017, around December, where was Nomia staying?
In December 2017, Nomia a tshama kwihi?
Lama sonto la tshamaku ko a ni ku tivi swa ku ho va femeli mara hina hi le kule ngopfu na vona lava tshamaku koho hi nga sukela ko hina hi ya tshame New Forest hi le
Edinburgh la n'wina mi nga sukela kona. I don't know, my lord. I don't know where Nomia stayed. We just family, but we are quite far apart from each other. Even when we came to reside in New Forest, we moved from a place called Edinburgh.
And around during December 2017, who were you staying with in your house?
Mina ke hi n'hweti leya ya December 2017 a mi tshama na mani?
ekaya.
You mean where I reside at home?
Yes.
Ekaya a mi tshama na mani?
Me no tshama mehe ni switukulwana swimbirhi swa grade 3.
A ni swi twi kahle ni kombela ku mi
No
khatisanya na
tshama
rito.
ni switukulwana swa me swimbirhi.
I was staying with my 2 grandchildren.
And during that December 2017, then, it's correct that you were at home.
Hi swona ku hi n'hweti yaliya ya December ka lembe leriya ra 2017 a mi ri kaya n'wina? Yes.
On during that time, around the day, what happens at your residence during December 2017?
Loko mi ri kaya eka masiku yalawa ya n'hweti ya December lembe leriya ra 2017 i yini leswi nga humelela? Ku humelele yini?
A ku humelelangi nchumu.
Nothing happened.
Mrs. Mushwana, there's evidence before this court from a witness called Lakiwe Mkhize, who testified that around December 2017, he went to Bushbuck Ridge in the company of the accused.
Manshwana yingiselana leswi mi nga na court ku ve na van'wanyana va nga ta va ta vulavula va nyika vumbhoni bya vona. Un'wanyana wa vona i Lakiwe Mkhize, va n'wi vitana ku hi Lakiwe Mkhize. Loko a fika a hlamusela court leswaku hi n'hweti leya ya December 2017 u sukile a ya Bushbuck Ridge a famba na Nomia Ndlovu.
When they arrived at Bushbuck Ridge, the accused...
Nga hlamula.
Do you want me to respond?
No.
Mi nga hlamula sweswi. Manyana mi yingisela loko nkarhi wa ku mi hlamula wu fika va ta mi tivisa ne. So mo yingisela n'we kahle leswi va swi vulaka kumbe leswi va mi byelaka swona.
And when they arrived there, the accused showed him your house, and the accused told Mr. Mkhize that he must go inside your house and ask for water so that he can see who was present in your house. And Mr. Mkhize testified that he went into your house. He found you were sitting on a chair, and there was a lady and a child, and he asked for water to drink, and the lady gave him the water to drink, and he left.
Barke nkulukumba luya Lakiwe Mkhize loko a nyika vumbhoni lana mani Mushwana bari u te u fambile siku rin'wanyana ka n'hweti yaliya ya December 2017 a famba na Nomia Ndlovu va ya fika le Bushbuck Ridge. Va fika le se n'wana wa n'wena Nomia a n'wi komba muti wa n'wina a yindlu ya n'wina laha mi tshama kona. Se loko a n'wi komba yindlu ya n'wina ivi a n'wi byela leswaku ke a fambi a ya nghena laha mutini wa n'wina a ti komberisa mati leswaku a ta kota ku vona ku ku na va mani laha ndlwini kumbe xiyimo xi njhani lani ivi ke tatani loyi Mkhize yena Lakhiwe Mkhize u ri u swi endleli sweswo u yile a ya nghena laha ndlwini a fika a kuma n'wena mi ri kona ku ri na un'wanyana wa xisati na vana kumbe n'wana se a fika a kombela mati himpela luya wa xisati a ri kona laha a n'wi nyika mati a nwa ivi a suka a famba hi leswi swi humelele eka rin'wanyana ra masiku ya December lembe leriya ra 2017.
What's your comment on that, Mrs. Mshwana?
swikoho leswi mi nga swi hlamulaku eka sweswo na Mani Mshwana? Yes, I do want to comment.
Kama a mi swi vona munhu a ta nghena ku i kombile mati.
My Lord, I never saw a person, anyone, coming to my place of residence and ask for water. For drinking water, my Lord.
And Mr. Lakhiwe Mkhize further testified before this court that the reason or why she was taken to Pushback Ridge was to kill Nomia Ndlovu because he has left Phomolong and went to Pushback Ridge.
Swin'wana leswi swi nga hlamuseriwa hi tatani Lakhiwe Mkhize ku kuma loyi a vulavulaka timhaka ta ku u nghene muti wa n'wina a kombela mati hi December lembe leriya ra 2017 u ye mahlweni a hlamusela swin'wanyana swin'wana leswi a nga swi vula u te a rhumiwile yena leyi ku a ya dlaya Nomia Ndlovu ku vuriwa leswaku hi nkarhi lowa se a rhurhile le a tshama koho haleni Joni se a tshama a Bushbuck Ridge a sukile haleni Joni a ya tshama le a Bushbuck Ridge. laha tshama kona la a ku ri a Phomolong eThembisa se a rhurhile Thembisa a Phomolong a tlhela ka
Just the sister on the court. Lakhiwe Mkhize did never mention the name Nomia Ndlovu. He was never informed the name of the sister he was to kill, and he never said that the sister moved from Phomolong to Bushbuck Ridge.
My Lord, with the evidence of Mr. Mkhize, if I do recall it, the reason they hiked with the accused to Bushbuck Ridge it's because the accused told him that when she was at hospital that the person that was living at Phomolong has left Phomolong to Bushbuck Ridge, if I do recall. Then she was going to take him to Bushbuck Ridge. No, but the name, my Lord, yes, my point of correction is that the name, he never mentioned the name. He said only that person left Phomolong and went to Bushbuck Ridge. Yes, my Lord, I want to amend. Thank you. Ms. Mshwana, the reason why Mr. Lakhiwe Mkhize was taken to Bushbuck Ridge is because the lady who was staying at Phomolong, he was told that has left to Bushbuck Ridge.
Mani Mshwana, tatani Mkhize loyi a nyika vumbhoni laha u te xivangelo xa ku a tekiwa yena a yisiwa a Bushbuck Ridge a ku ri ku loyi wa xisati a tshama le a Phomolong a rhurhile loyi a suka a ya tshama a Bushbuck Ridge
Hlamuseni nhlamulo.
So do you want my response to that?
Yes, it was during December 2017.
Ba re leswi humelele hi December eka n'hweti ya December lembe ra 2017.
A ni swi tivi sweswo.
My lord, I have no knowledge of that. I don't know about it.
This is sort of the presentation of the court interrupted the flow of evidence. How would you expect the thing which was conversed or discussed between the witness you mentioned and the accused as regards their discipline? How do you expect this witness?
My lord, with regard to the conversation between the accused and the witness, Mr. Mkhize, my lord, I'm not expecting the witness to give any question. I was just putting that statement that the reason that during
That's why I raised the whole question, the whole problem of relevancy yesterday. Special case is being taken to make sure that whoever is called can contribute towards the determination of the issues.
yes, indeed.
Regard being paid to the fact that the majority of the incidences happened here in the Gauteng province, except in respect of the death of Brilliant Machine.
Yes.
So how would you then expect this witness to assist? But I don't want to
Yes.
interrupt.
Yes.
You called, the state has complied, went out of the way to assist with the transportation and the accommodation.
Yes.
Now, this must remain focused and relevant.
Indeed, my
to the
lord.
issues that we have.
Indeed, my lord. Thank you, my lord. And Mr. Shwana, during 2017, around December, where was Joyce Ndlovu staying?
Manshwana, hi n'hweti ya December, ka masiku ya n'hweti ya December lembe leriya ra 2017, Joyce a tshama kwihi?
Ekaya ka yena.
At her own place, at her own home.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further question for the witness.
Any re-examination?
Yes, my lord, I'm not going to be long if I may just proceed. Our space has been taken up here. Mrs. Mushwana, is it correct that the deceased encounters your daughter, Mrs. Audrey Nomia Ndlovu?
Hi swona ku loyi a nga lova Audrey Nomia Ndlovu i n'wana wa n'wina?
N'wana wa mina.
Yes, that's my daughter. Yes.
May I ask you, on the morning of the, or let me rather ask you, when were you informed of the untimely death of your daughter, Ms. Audrey Nomia Ndlovu?
Mi tivisiwe rini hi rifu ra yena, ku lova ka yena, a ku ri rini loko mi ta tivisiwa sweswo?
I khale a na ha swi tivi ni lo tivi ku va swi ri va swi vone kumbe na visivile se ni foneleriwa mundzuku wa kona.
My lord, it's a long time ago. I cannot remember as to when, but I think they learned of the death at night. But the following day, I was then notified. I was informed of her passing on.
Do you at any stage recall that the accused phoned you and informed you of the death of your daughter, Audrey Nomia Ndlovu?
Kube na nkarhi laha Nomia n'wana wa n'wina loyi a nga muhehliwa namuntlha laha ni Hubyeni, laha a nga mi fonela a mi tivisa hi ta ku lova ka Audrey Nomia Ndlovu?
A na ha khumbuli a ni fonelangi hi yena.
I don't remember. She's not the one who.
N'wana wa we i file swo bohirile se a na ha khumbuli a ni fonelangi.
I can't. If you have lost a child or a loved one, you are bound to mourn to grieve about it, so I can't remember,
Yeah.
my lord.
Then also, is it correct that the deceased, you mentioned in count 12, Mr. Brilliant Mashego, is Audrey Somisa's son and your grandson?
Se Brilliant Mashego hi swona ku i n'wana wa Audrey, leswi endlaku Brilliant Mashego a va ntukulu wa n'wina? Yes, yes, that's correct.
And is it then also correct on the 22nd of January 2018, Brilliant left Bushbuck Ridge in the company of the accused?
Hi swona ku hi ti 22 ta January, n'hweti ya January ku ri ti 22 lembe ra 2018, Brilliant u suke a Bushbuck Ridge a famba na Nomia va te hala Joni, hi swona? No, he did not travel to Johannesburg, no.
They did not travel together.
A va tangi swin'we? U tile ya eka ka n'we ku ri Sonto? No, they did not travel together, my lord, but he did come to my place of residence, to my house, and I remember that it was on a Sunday.
Okay. The body of the deceased, Brilliant Mashego, was discovered on the 24th of January 2018. Did you at any stage ask the accused what happened to Mr. Brilliant Mashego?
Va ri ntsumbu wa yehe ntukulu wa n'we Brilliant Mashego, loko se andzhaka loko a lovile va kume miri wa yehe kumbe ntsumbu wa yehe hi siku ra ti 24 ta December 2018. Se xivutiso la mhani muxana i ku mi ze mi nga n'wi vutisa Nomia ku ku humelele yini kumbe i yini leswi a swi tivaku leswi nga humelela eka ntukulu wa n'we Brilliant Mashego?
A ni nga ta n'wi vutisa nchumu hi ku tiva ku Brilliant Mashego fele i lovile kaya eBush.
I could not,
A ni zangi ni va na miehleketo ya swona.
my lord, it never came to my mind. I never thought of it, and there was nothing that I could ask her. And I'm saying so because when Brilliant Mashego died, he died whilst in Bushbuck Ridge. That is our home. So it never came to my mind to ask her about that.
Okay. Now, at the time when Brilliant Mashego had passed away, and the body was discovered on the 24th of January, did you see the accused at Bushbuck Ridge on the 23rd of January, the day before the body was discovered?
Se hi nkarhi lowu Brilliant Mashego ntukulu wa n'we a nga lova hi wona mhani swona, ivi ku ta kumeka na ntsumbu wa yena hi ti 24 ta January ro lembe leri ra 2018 a nga lova hi rona. Xivutiso xa mehe xi ri mi ze mi nga n'wi vona Nomia na a Bushbuck Ridge ka masiku ya lawa ya ngopfungopfu hi xatolo xa koho, hi marito yan'wana siku rin'we ku nga si fika siku leri ku nga kumeka ntsumbu wa Brilliant ro la ta tiva ku mu vonile a Bushbuck Ridge Nomia hi masiku ya lawa na? No, I did not see her.
So the accused you did not see on the 23rd?
Na hi siku leri ra ti 23 leswi a nga kumeka hi ti 24 Brilliant hi ti 23 xatolo xa koho a mu n'wi vonangi?
A nga zangi a ve kona ye ya vuya hi siku va ye va ha vuya siku leri mundzuku Brilliant a lahliwaka.
No, she did not come home on those days. She did not come around on those days. She only came the day before the funeral, the burial of Brilliant Mashego.
So only the day before the burial. And the day when Brilliant went missing, the 22nd of January 2018, was the accused in Bushbuck Ridge according to you?
Se hi ku tiva ka n'we hi siku leri Brilliant Mashego a nga lahleka hi rona kumbe ku nyamalala hi rona ku nga ti 22 ta January 2018. Hi ku tiva ka n'we Nomia ariko eBushbuck Ridge.
angakho
She was not there.
Then there was also evidence presented that on the day Brilliant Mashego went missing, he actually went to your residence and received some money from you. Do you know anything about that? On the 22nd of January 2018.
Se isiku leri anga nyamalala hi rona Brilliant Mashego. Hi twe vumbhoni la udzeni mani Mshwana. Vumbhoni lebyi byi hlamuselaka leswaku hi siku leri a ku ri ti 22 siku anga nyamalala hi rona nga lahleka hi rona. Kambe va ri hi siku leriwani u tilile ka n'we a mutini wa n'wina ivi mi fika mi n'wi nyika mali. Ku na leswi mi swi tivaka hi sweswo na?
itile mutini wa mina ekuteni ka ye a va ni swiphaza leyi kokwani wa ku ni swiphaza a va rhumi chula mahanti ku ya xaveni ti-cold drink se ka vakokwani ka vamhakhi wa kokwani wa ekusuhi na yena ko ndlula miti minharhu wa 4 wo se loko a ri laha ka vakokwani wa ka vakokwani wa a vona a ni vona laha kaya se a ku hi ka loyi a nga ta na yena a ku yima ni vhena mi ni pfuxela kokwani ni ta vhe ni n'wi hlamusele leswaku mundzuku a ni nga vi kona ni ye Nelspruit.
Okay, Imandla. Yes, my lord, indeed, Brilliant came to my place of residence, to my house, on the 22nd of January back in 2018. And my lord, this is how it happened that he ended up at my place. In fact, his other grandmother resides not so far away from where I stay. So they operate as spaza shop at his other granny's house. So Brilliant, I believe, with other kids were sent to buy cold drinks in Bushbuck Ridge by the granny. So on their way back with someone in his company, he then decided to pass by my place to come and say greetings and also to inform me that he was on his way to Nelspruit. He will not be available. The following day he will be gone to Nelspruit.
Did you inquire from Brilliant as to how he would go to Nelspruit? Which transport would he use?
Minguvutisile na Brilliant ku u ta fambisa ku yini, ta famba hi yini, transport leyi a nga ta yi tirhisa, swo famba leswi a nga ta swi tirhisa u ta tirhisa yini loko a famba kumbe swihi loko a famba a Nelspruit.
I ta tirhisa bus.
He said that he will use a bus. He will take a bus.
Did Brilliant Mashego at any stage on that day inform you that he was going to meet the accused?
Isiku lero uze anga mi byela Brilliant Mashego ku u ta aya hlangana na Nomia na Ndlovu. No, he did not tell me anything about that.
Just for clarity's sake, you are certain you did not see the accused on the 22nd of January 2018 at your house or in the area?
Did you say 22nd?
22nd of January 2018.
Se mi remitisile ku hi ti 22 ta January 2018 a mi n'wi vonangi Brilliant hi siku leriya emutini wa n'we kumbe le a Bushbuck Ridge.
The accused.
Kahle kahle a kongome ku vula ku a mi n'wi vonangi Nomia na hi ti 22 ta January lembe ra 2018 a mutini wa n'we kumbe a Bushbuck Ridge. No, I did not say that. She was here in Johannesburg, as far as I know.
And did the accused at any stage contact you on that day?
Uve na nkarhi hi siku reriya a nga ze a mi fonela Nomia hi siku leri
lera swa ku fona a khokha phela hi vanhu vakulu ye a ku nga ri na siku leri a va nga ni fonini.
If you talk about phoning, you must mind that I'm quite older and I forget about such, but there was no day that she gave me a telephone call.
Okay. And just once again, just for confirmation, we now dealt with the 22nd, the day after Brilliant went missing. You are certain you did not see the accused in Bushbuck Ridge?
Se hi vulavurile ti 22 ta January 2018. Andzaka siku leri andzaka swona Brilliant anga nyamalala. Se meri mina ni tiyisile mina ntiyiso wa leswaku a mu n'wi vonangi Nomia a Bushbuck Ridge hi masiku yalawa. No, I did not see her.
Ya vuya loko se hi n'wi fonela hi n'wi byele leswaku Brilliant lovile kumbe va la na ta va fika va ni byela no ve ni suka ni famba na vona.
She came back home, that is, came over to Bushbuck Ridge after she was called and informed of the death of Brilliant. And when I was informed about this death, I then up and left and went to where the burial was.
Okay. And then just I would like to ask you, there was evidence presented that an individual was hired by the accused to kill you for a mere amount of 2,600 rand. How do you feel about that?
Se kuna vumbhoni byin'wanyana laha hi nga byitwa mani Mshwana bya leswaku Nomia u xave munhu kumbe vanhu ku va mi dlaya n'wena ivi a va xava hi mali yo ringana 2,600 rand. Ku twa sweswo mani Mshwana swi mi khoma njhani sweswo na mi titwa njhani loko mi twa sweswo na?
Leswaku a ni zangi ni twa ku vava hi ku a ni si tshame kaka mi ni chavisiwa hi mina.
My Lord, I never felt bad about it because I was never ever threatened by anyone at my place.
Thank you, my lord. No further questions for this witness.
Any recrimination?
None, my lord.
Mrs. Mshwana, the court has few questions to you in order to assist.
Se mani Mshwana, leri ku na swivutiso leswi nga ta vurisiwa hi huvo ku nga court judge ku mi kota ku va pfuna va twisisa swin'wanyana.
Evidence before this court is that Morris Kingwani Mabasa was in love with the accused and he died in October 2015.
Vumbhoni lebyi nga kona hubyeni mani Mshwana i ku ri Morris Yingwani Mabasa a rhandzana na Nomia Moehlile nakona Morris Yingwani Mabasa u vuye a lova u love hi n'hweti ya October lembe leriya ra 2015.
Do you recall that incident, or did you attend the burial of Morris Mabasa?
Ma swi tsundzuka sweswo na mhangu yaleyo ma ha yi tsundzuka na kumbe mi yile enkosini wa Morris Yingwani Mabasa? I did attend the burial.
Now let's go forward now to 2018.
Se I yeni mahlweni kusuka ka lembe leriya ra 2015 ya mahlweni mihleketo ya ka leswi nga humelela eka lembe ra 2018.
Did you know who was now in the life or the new partner or the new, terms have changed? The new boyfriend, let me use that, and I'm using the word guardedly, of the accused.
Se hi lembe ra 2018 a mi swi tiva na ku i mani munhu wuntshwa loyi a rhandzana na Nomia, loyi ni nga vulavula leswaku a ku ri jaha ra yena a va twanana, a ku ri na munhu loyi mu n'wi tiva leswaku se u kume munhu wuntshwa a rhandzanaka na yena na?
Particularly during the time
Ndhawu ka
of
loko
the
ku
death
lomoriwa.
of brilliant Mashiro.
Ngopfungopfu hi nkarhi lowu Brilliant Mashiro a nga lova hi wona ka masiku ya lawaya kumbe andzhaka masiku ya lawaya mi ve na vutivi bya leswaku ku na un'wanyani munhu a hlekisanaka na yena a rhandzanaka na yena Nomia wuntshwa na? Yes, I came to know about such. Yes.
What was the name?
Vito ra yena
a lo ni byela leswaku i twana ni munhu mara vito ra yena a ni nga si ri tiva hikuva a ku nga swi va nkarhi wa ku leha.
No, my lord, I did not, I wasn't informed of the name. I didn't know the name, but it's her, the accused, who informed me that she has found a partner, a boyfriend. So I wasn't aware of the name because it wasn't long after the relationship has started.
Did the accused tell you where this new boyfriend was working or came from? Or who was he? Without telling you the name.
Yeah, imzerile Nomia ku u huma kwihi munhu loyi, u wale kwihi, u tirha kwihi, hambiloko a nga ri vulangi vito kambe imzerile hi yena ku i munhu wale kwihi, u tirha kwihi.
A swi nga swi va na masiku ya ku a nga va se a tshame hansi. Loyi a no n'wi tivisisa kahle i Morris le kaya ka mina.
No, it wasn't long, my lord, after this relationship started, when she notified me of it, such that she would be able to sit down with me and tell me more details about it. But the person who was in a relationship with her, the one that I knew very well, was the late Morris.
Any cross-examination?
None, no.
Any cross-examination?
None, my lord.
Mrs. Michelle, thank you very much. You step down.
You can see the same deal, man mshwana, same ngasuka kwala.
When is he going to be taken back?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be indecent if the court allows her to say hi to the daughter in private? 5 minutes will adjourn and then so that we can bid farewell to the daughter. If the daughter is willing to do that.
My lord, may I consult with you?
Please do so.
Thank you, my lord. Yes,
5 minutes.
yes.
That is all what I can afford, and then we reassemble. For the agents,
Sabara.
Asume.
That's what mine's Monday.
Let's take the housekeeping review. How long are you able to complete your defense evidence to release?
Indeed, my lord, I'm going to.
So we can recall the witness, the accused to the stand, or shall we take direct and evidence?
My lord, we can call the accused to the stand, my lord. We can call the accused to the stand, my lord, so that we proceed.
Please come over the side.
Tanana Mandlovu.
Ms. Ndlovu. Please swear the witness in.
As the court pleases, kombela mavito xitalo na xivongo Mandlovu.
Nomia Ndlovu.
Kuna leswi mi sivelaka mi nga hlambanya
Ashkom.
ma hlambanya ku vumbhoni bya n'wina byi ta va ntiyiso mi ta mahlweni mi byela huvo ntiyiso ntsena ntiyiso wo helela loko swi ri tano kombela mi yimisa voko ra n'wina ra ku dyambu ku ni kombela xikwembu xi ni pfuna ni vulavula ntiyiso.
Xikwembu mi pfuna ni vulavula ntiyiso.
The witness is sworn in, my lord.
Please remains in and testify secretly.
That's a man.
Please proceed.
Thank you, my lord.
He said he came alone when they met at, he was wont to come alone, and he came alone when they met at KFC in Kempton Park.
Yes, that is Bafana.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Proceed.
Ms. Ndlovu, there's evidence before this court also from Mr. Maret's haystack. He's from Asupol, if I'm not mistaken, who testified that during the 19th of June 2013, they received a call from you, from a person who alleged to be Audrey, inquiring about the policy.
Mandlovu, itwe vumbhoni bya Mr. Maret haystack wa ku huma Asupol kumbe wa ku tirhela Asupol. Loko a nyika vumbhoni bya yena la Mandlovu u te hi ti 19 ta June lembe leriya ra 2013.
My lord, Mr. Isaac is not from Ashipol. He was from Clientele as well as well. Not Ashipol.
Yes, Ms.
Oh, thank you, my lord. Thank you, Mike, for the correction. Yes, this was from Hollard.
A endle xihoxo la tatani Soko Mandlovu. Mr. Haystack, Maret's haystack, anga tirheli Asupol, a tirhela Clientele na Hollard. Se loko a ta haleni hubyeni a ta nyika vumbhoni u hlamuserile ku hi ti 19 ta June lembe leriya ra 2013 u vuya a kuma call, u foneriwile munhu loyi a nga tivula ku yena hi yena Audrey, a lava ku tiva hi tipholisi kumbe hi polisi yo karhi.
Sir, just for
Mi nga si hlamula mo manyala kwalano Mandlovu.
he said he received a call, but he said the notes which were made from the salespeople. Look at the affidavit of Mr. Maret. The only call that I remember of Namibia is when Mr. Haystack was called by the witness, threatening him with a report to the insurance ombudsman because he was taking time to finalize the payment. Would that be correct? Look at the affidavit of Mr. Haystack.
It's exhibit triple V and triple W. Double V and double U. W.
STUV. So the W. got it, Mr.
Yes, my lord.
Is that W?
It's WW and VV. Can I assist you on the court?
You've got a copy, let me just, I've got it here now.
It's not marked down?
Yes. I will give that to you. To the best of my recollection, that is what he was told by the salespeople.
On the system, which was recorded on the
Yes.
system.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, my lord, from the affidavit, my lord. However, my lord, his evidence on the 31st of August 2021.
20?
31st August 2021.
Is that the day of
The-
his testimony?
Yes, his testimony, my lord.
Yes. Good. Proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Haystack testified that they received a telephone call from the person who alleged to be Audrey, inquiring about her policy.
When was it? Only,
That was on the 31st of August 2021.
when was the
It was on the he said
19th of
June 2013.
2020, 2015,
2013.
2013?
Yes, ma'am.
Please. Please.
Mando, tatanso ko ba re Mr. Maritz Haystack bukanyika vumbhoni laha makhoti a ku ri ti 31 ta August hi siku leriya u hlamusele ku hi ti 19 ta June 2013 u kume call u foneriwile munhu loyi a nga ti vula leswaku yena ye Audrey a karhi a vutisa hi ta insurance policy.
And they received that call from the same number that of yours, Miss Ndlovu.
Se mhaka leyi nga koma Ndlovu i ku munhu loyiwani a ti vula ku hi ye Audrey a fona hi nambara ya wena Ndlovu, nambara ya leyi a yi tiveka ku i nambara ya wena, se a fona hi yona a vutisa hi tipholisi a ti hlaya ku yena hi yena Audrey.
What's your comment?
U rini swona mani va hlamula u ri ku yini kwala?
a ni nge tsundzuki date na ku endleke yini mara leswi ni swi tivaku ni tsundzuka a ni ri na cellphone contract na Cell C, so foni ya yi-1 a ni teke ni nyika sis wa mehe yin'wana a yi sale na a na ni n'wi nyike na sim card, se na loko a fonile nambara yi va yi ri ya mehe swi ri hi ku foni leyi a yi ri ya contract a yi rejistiwe hansi ka vito ra mina.
My lord, regarding that, although I don't have the recollection of dates and also as to exactly what happened, what I know is that at some point I had a Cell C cell phone contract and I had 2 phones. So I gave my sister, that is the late Audrey Ndlovu, one of these, and she was using it, and I gave it with the SIM card. So obviously, this cell phone number would show as mine.
Ms. Ndlovu, he even in his testimony gave them a cell number which is 082 05 92648.
Say,
She responded to that. She says she had 2 cell phones. The other one is also Cell C. She said, at some stage she gave This number, this says phone number for the deceased. So that's the reason why, if I understand it correctly, she could have made that call. Is that how I understand your
Hi swona leswi va mi twa kahle na va ku twa kahle Mandlovu wa ri na ti-cellphone timbirhi a wu ri na contract ya Cell C u nikesesi wa wena yin'we ya tifoni letiwa se hi swona leswi swi endlaku ku loko a fona hi foni leyi loko va languta va kuma ku i ya wena Mandlovu.
Leswi
Yes, that's correct, ma'am.
loko ri ku i foni leya Cell C leswi ni vulaka swona.
But particularly, my lord, if she used the Cell C number, that's what I'm saying. In particular, the Cell C number. If she used that one.
And he further testified that after you lodge a claim with them, you phoned him and you asked him why is the claim not paid, and you were threatening him.
And threatening. Loko a khara nyika vumbhoni tatani Haystack Martin Maritz Haystack u te ku ve na nkarhi laha u nga endla claim marito yan'wanyana u endla xikombelo leswaku police yi ku hakela Mandlovu se u vuye u fona u vutisa leswaku hikwalaho ka yini police a yi nga hakeli ivi loko u kha u vulavula na yena laha a wu karhi u n'wi chavisela va ri byi u nga n'wi chavisela u n'wi threatela.
Loko ni ta va ni endle claim tipholisi dile ya ku hakela ni fonile ni vutisa mara a ni tsundzuki ni n'wi threatenile a nga na reason na ku n'wi threatena i ni byele ku va le ku following ka procedure tanihileswi ku nga unnatural causes va contactana na maphorisa va kota ku twisisa ku ku humelela yini so a ni tsundzuki ni n'wi threatenile.
No, my lord, I did not threaten her. I had no reason, in fact, to do so. But I do admit, my lord, yes, when the policy delayed payment after I lodged the claim, I did phone in to inquire about that. I was told that they were following procedure, and especially that the death was due to unnatural causes. So they had to follow processes, which includes contacting the police and obtaining information from the police. But I don't remember making threats to him. I had no reason to do so.
And Ms. Ndlovu, it's common cause that there were several policies that you took on behalf of Mr. Ndlovu.
Mari Mandlovu kuna ti-policy ta ku hlaya hi ku ya hi vumbhoni lebyi nga kola hundzeni kuna ti-policy ta ku hlaya to talanyana leti u nga ti teka u ti tekela Mr. Ndlovu.
And in those policies, Ndlovu was referred as a spouse.
Se eka ti-policy teto ta ku hlayanyana leti ni vulaka tona Ndlovu loyiwani loko a tsarisiwa ka tipholisi leti u tsarisiwe tani hi nuna wa loyi a nga n'wi tekela polisi wa swi twa Mandlovu. I understand that, yes, I hear that, I'm listening.
Yes. And however, according to the witness, Ms. Gabaza Mshwana is the mother of Mr. Ndlovu. and you are related to her, and also related to Mr. Madala Home.
Kabaza Mushwana, mina bushaka na bona, nativana na bona na kona ku ni mashaka na Madala Home ane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why was Madala Home referred as a spouse in those policies where you were beneficiary?
Se hikwalaho ka yini Madala Home a tsarisiwe tani hi nuna wa loyi a nga teka tipholisi leti?
Kumbe va lo endla xihoxo ka ku teka tipholisi na ni n'wi tsarise ku i buti a ni nga ta n'wi tsarisa
A mi n'wi tsarise ku yini?
a ni n'wi tsarise as brother.
As brother. I think they committed a mistake. They made a mistake there, my lord. When I included him in the policy, I registered him as a brother, not as a spouse. I think they made some mistake there.
And it's very correct that you also took a policy as a beneficiary from for Mr. Maurice Mabasa. You were a beneficiary in that policy.
Kuna policy leyi mi nga yi teka mi nga yi endla laha mi ri beneficiary leyi mi nga yi endla mi endlela Maurice Mabasa.
Xivutiso xexo a ni koti ku xi twisisa kahle ku va ri ni teke polisi a ni ri nga ri na polisi yin'wana so a ni koti ku twisisa ku advocate ku va refera ka yini.
My lord, I'm finding it difficult to understand that question, given that I had more than one policy. So if and when council talks about a policy, I don't understand as to which one specifically is council talking about.
The council has said that she has taken out several policies. And in one of those policies, the late Inquali Maurice Mabasa was identified as the spouse.
Indeed, Madam. Thank you, Madam.
So you want to know which one?
Se mina ta tiva ku hi yona hiku a ni ri va ri a mi teke tipholisi ta ku hlaya to talanyana se ka yin'wanyani yin'wanyani ya tipholisi teto ku na leya mi nga teka mi tsarisa Maurice Yingwani Mabasa tanihi nuna wa n'wina se mi ri mi lava ku ta tiva ku advocate va vulavula hi yini.
Okay, so se na n'wi twisisa a ni ku i ri ni n'wi tsarisa as beneficiary so ri ndzi na misunderstanding.
No, I think I misunderstood his question, my lord. Now I do get him. I do understand. I thought that he meant to say that I covered him as a beneficiary, but now I follow what he's saying, my lord.
That's a minute.
Thank you, Madam. And why is Maurice Mabasa, or before I go there, were you married to Maurice Mabasa?
Ninga siya ka swin'wanyana kumbe akule. Wena Maurice amchatini?
A hi nga tekananga.
No, we're not married.
A yo tshama swin'we.
We were habiting, my lord. We're living together.
Yes, and then why Mr. Morris Mabasa was also registered as your spouse.
Se hikwalaho ka yini ye a tsarisiwe tani hi nuna wa weke eka tipholisi?
Loko u teka tipholisi u va hlamusela u lava ku hoxa munhu ku fana ni mi byela hi ye Morris ni va byerile loko ni tshama na munhu mara munhu loyi a hi tekanangi va ku mina nkarhi wo fika ku mi tshama swin'we se ni va byele va ku loko munhu mi tshama swin'we ka ndhawu ya yi-1 mi shera hi xin'wana na xin'wanyana wa n'wi tsala as spouse xa wena se lexi nga endla Morris ka tipholisi ta mina a ri spouse hikuva a ni ri na nkarhi wa ku leha ni tshama na yena.
Madam, when one takes a policy and need to cover someone, there are questions which are asked. In this instance about Morris, I told him that I have a partner that I live with, and I was asked as to how long were you staying with this partner of yours. I told them, and then they advised me that, look, you see, if you have lived together at the same place with someone as a partner and have been sharing responsibilities together and other things, that is regarded as a spouse. So that is why in those policies, which are two, and where Morris was covered, my lord, he was covered as my spouse.
And she wants
And further,
please.
Moyi Manyan, Mandlovu.
So you were advised by the same representative, either Mr. Makacho or Mr. Mashaba,
Say,
because those are the people who interacted with you.
it's Mr. Mashaba and who, my lord?
And I'm just mentioning some of them.
Yes,
And,
I thought the court
Mr.
mentioned two.
Makacho.
Khaja, okay. Se mi ri leswi va nga mi byela swona va nga mi tivisa swona lava a va mi tekisa tipholisi kumbe lava a mi teka eka vona tipholisi van'wanyana va vona ku hlayiwa eka xikarhi ka vona ku hlayiwa Mabasa na Mkhatshwa hi leswi va mi byela swona ku loko tshame na munhu nkarhi wo leha kumbe nkarhi wo karhi swi tekiwa ku munhu yaleyo i munhu loyi a sa tekiwa ku i nuna wa wena kumbe nsati wa wena loko mi tshame swin'we mi karhi mi share swin'we swilo leswi va nga mi byela swona.
leswi va vula swona.
Yes, that is what they said, man.
Which policy is the one which is disputed, signatures are disputed?
Exhibit double F.
Double F, that would be in bold double F.
It's Ashipu policy of Mr. Maurice.
Yes. Let me just a minute.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. And after you were advised by those sales representatives, what then you accepted that advice?
Se loko va mi byela swona va mi tivisa sweswo kumbe ku kombeta ku swi tekiwa hi ndlela yaleyo wena mi swi amukerile Mandlovu ku leswi va swi vula.
Ni swi amukerile ku a ni ri va te a swi ariwi swa pfumeleleka hi ndlela leyi wa swi endla swi aleka ntsena loko ri ku a mi tshami ka ndhawu yin'we i tshama le na le muvhakelani.
Yes, I accepted that, my lord, and I was informed, my lord, that it's allowed if the situation was as it was between myself and my partner Maurice. I was further told, my lord, that it would not be permitted, it would not be allowed if we were partners but we were living apart. We were only seeing at each other when visiting one another. In that case, it would not be allowed. That's what I was told.
Ms. Ndlovu, we also took policies on Zanele Motor, and you were a beneficiary in that policy.
Kuna policy timbiri ngathi enda Zanele Motor. Barke we our beneficiary kwana Ndlovu. Yes, I'm aware of it. I know about these two policies.
And it's correct that after she passed away and you lodged a claim with the insurance policies.
Sona kuloko ayita kuloba andzaka loko se alovile ubuye uyaclaima ka insurance policy the police letimbili ta Zanele Motor. Yes, I did.
And also on behalf of Mr. Brilliant Mashiho, took also a policy.
Na Brilliant Mashiho, how many the police or not the police leti outside say Brilliant? Yes, I do remember that. I did cover him in I think about 2 policies.
And also Miss Audrey Somisa Ndlovu, also several policies on behalf.
Na yena Audrey Somisa Ndlovu. Na I'll take it the police in Tsarisa. Yes, I had covered her in policies.
And also Mayeni Willie Mashaba.
Na
policies for him.
Mayeni Willie Mashaba na awuzarsile that police. Yes, I covered him in 2 policies. If my memory serves me correctly, my lord, policies regarding Brilliant, where I covered Brilliant, I did not make any claims. Hey. Mina yini? My lord, the witness says she is in pain. She's in pain. She's experiencing chest pains. So she would like someone to give her some water. Perhaps it will assist. She's not feeling well. She says she's not feeling well. She's experiencing pain in her chest.
This is based on your counsel and the station make sure that you are in a position to follow. That's one of the rights. Anyway, please proceed when they are going to say the attention of the now.
Sebari lokhu kusiya mahlweni utabula ke Mandlovu. Mchuchisi nami mero wa wena va fanele ku va vonisana va kota ku tiyisisa leswaku ku ya mahlweni u ri xiyimweni xa kahle a yimeli loyi a nga landza mati loko ku ri ku ya ta pfuna hi to ya mahlweni kambe a n'wi yimerile a ya landza mati a yeni mahlweni. Yes, ma'am.
Are you still going to be
No, my lord. Thank you.
You know, the reason why, because if you have to take an adjournment, it's going to impact on the other witness that you want to call. And so to filter that into our arrangements. Okay. Can you please proceed?
Thank you, my lord. And Ms. Ndlovu, why did you take these policies on behalf of these people while they were still alive?
Se Mandlovu xivutiso hi lexi i ku xivangelo xa ku u tekela vanhu lavawani tipholisi i yini loko vanhu lavawani va hanya lava nga lovetela va tekela tipholisi a swi endla yini a wu susumeta yini ku va tekela tipholisi?
I ti-family member ta mehe swin'wana a va nga tirhi, so hi leswi nga endla ku ni va tekela tipholisi teleto ku loko siku ngo tshuka ku endleke swin'wanyana ni nga koti ku tekeriwa hi ku na nkarhi lowu a ni nga si ze ni va na tipholisi ku ve na xiyimo xin'wana lexi hi nga tekeriwa a hi nga ri na mali ya ku lahla hi nga a ni nga tekelanga tipholisi.
My lord, these were my family members. That's the reason why I took out insurance policies and I covered them in those insurance policies. Secondly, my lord, most of them, they were not employed. And my lord, I was avoiding a situation whereby it would be a burden on me. If someone was to pass on, they were not employed and not covered by any insurance policy that would assist in burial. And this, my lord, I learned from an experience that happened before. There was once an instance where someone passed on, they were not covered in policies, they had to be buried, and it was quite difficult for the family. So this is the reason why I took out insurance policies for them.
Ms. Ndlovu, there's also evidence here, although it's not evidence, there's exhibit BBBB that was, it's an affidavit that was prepared by Mr. Leander Peter Christian Jansen.
Kuna vumbhoni byo karhi laniwani exhibit BBBB ya Mr. Jansen i affidavit kumbe statement lexi a nga xi hlambanyela a nga xi endla ya xi hlambanyela Mr. Jansen.
Is on his evidence on the affidavit is that he was given two different items that contains voices.
Voice recordings.
Yes, these voice recordings, yes. And those voice recordings, he has to determine whether are from the same person or from different person.
Se eka statement lexi a nga xi hlambanyela eka affidavit liya a nga yi endla Mr. Jansen Mandlovu vuya vumbhoni bya yena ka sweswo kumbe leswi a nga swi hlamusela eka affidavit liya u te u nyiketiwe ti-recordings timbirhi ta ku hambana leti ntirho wa yena a ku ri ku yingisela a twa leswaku ka ti-recordings letiya ku na ti-voice recording leswo va rekhode rito ra munhu kumbe ku tlula kan'we va rekhode rito ra munhu wo karhi. Se ntirho wa yena a ku ri ku yingisela a twa leswaku i munhu un'we a vulavulaka laya kumbe i vanhu vambirhi va ku hambana na.
And those recordings, those voice recordings, one they allege that was belonging to Odriso Ms. Ndlovu, other voice recordings, they are like that belongs to Rosemary Ndlovu.
Se eka ti-recording letimbirhi tanihileswi nga vula ku ti ri timbirhi va ri yin'we recording a ku vuriwa ku va vule leswaku i ya Audrey Somisa Ndlovu, leya vumbirhi va ku i ya Rosemary Ndlovu. Se ti ri timbirhi leti ntirho wa yena ku ri ku yingisela ku ti hambanile himpela hi swona a hi munhu wun'we i vambirhi tanihileswi va hlayaka ku leyi ya Audrey Somisa Ndlovu leyi ya Rosemary Ndlovu kumbe i munhu wun'we na.
And when he compared those voices, those voice recordings, in his findings is that, before his findings, is that the voices, they sounded similar. However, he followed a certain method to reach to his findings. In his findings, he finds that those voice recordings belongs to one person, and it was Rosemary Ndlovu.
Se tanihileswi nga vula Mandlovu ntirho wa yena a ku ri ku yingisela a twa ku i rito ra munhu wun'we kumbe ku na ku hambana na kumbe marito ya vanhu vambirhi vo hambana na. Se a ku ri na ndlela leyi a yi tirhisa ku va a endla sweswo, ndlela matirhelo ya yena lawa a nga ya tirhisa a nga ya landzelela emakumu xiboho lexi a nga fikelela eka xona hi ku eka ti-recordings leti ri timbirhi a ku ri rito ra munhu wun'we ku nga Rosemary Ndlovu.
Kumbe ku xivutiso xin'wana loko a ri nga xi tisikaka, munhu loyi loko a teka tipholisi kumbe loko a inquire hi tipholisi.
There's something that I'm missing there. I just need to comprehend that now, to understand. When these voice recordings were made, was it at the time when the person behind the voice was applying for the policies, or was it at the time when the person behind the voice nearly making inquiries about the policies? That's what I need to understand.
Okay. Those raised voice recordings, it's when the person was applying for the policies over the phone, using a phone.
Bareke Mandlovu, the voice recording letiya a tirita munhu loyi a ri ku endleni ka application, a ri ku endleni xa xikombelo xa ku teka, a ri ku tekeni ka tipholisi.
What do you want the witness to correlate? What is the point that you want attention in our statement?
My Lord, with regard to the findings that the voices, the findings of Mr. Jansen is that those voices belongs to the accused. Thank you, my Lord.
Leswi Tatan Soko va lava ku u hlamula swona Mandlovu, u hlamula leswi Mr. Jansen a nga ya xiboho lexi a nga fikelela ka xona loko a heta ku endla ntirho wa yena ku voice leyi a yi nga laha ka ti-recordings i voice ya Rosemary. Hi leswi va lavaka ku hlamula swona tanihileswi na jaji va vutisaka ku se ha swi twa wa vula ku vumbhoni bya yena u te yini na kwihi na kwihi, se u lava ku a hlamula yini Mandlovu?
Loko ku ri tlhelo ra tipholisi leti nga teka hi Audrey, a ni swi tivi, a ni tekanga tipholisi ni ti endla Audrey, ni tiva leti nga teka hi mina.
My Lord, if this refers to policies which were taken out by insurance policies which were taken out by the late Audrey Somisa Ndlovu, I bear no knowledge about that. I can only account about the policies which I took myself. And my Lord, I never took policies pretending or impersonating Audrey. Pretending to be Audrey or impersonating her.
ene xin'wana ku tatisa kwalani
And so I just have something to add on that.
leswi mi vulavurisaka xiswome loko siswome o va a ri hala ka sayiti leriya a vulavula u ta ku yini a hi vulavula ku fana mara a ni tekanga tipholisi ni pretenda ku va yini
I just want to add this, my lord. My voice is very much similar to that of my sister. If she was to talk being on the other side of the room, you being here and being talking here, you'll think that it's the same person or it's me. But having said that, my lord, I never impersonated her, pretended to be her and took policies. My lord, I did not do that.
May the court bear with me, my lord.
Yes. Remember the information that at the police station, I think it was count 15 or 17, where the accused under the plea of guilty, and it was rejected by the state. Keep in mind, and I think it brings to their attention, that any evidence that was given in that admission, in that count, is evidence before the court, so the court will deal with that situation as well. It are mentioned this, that it are one both the state and the council, that it is the evidence before the court.
Yes.
You know, there is
Count 15, conspiracy to kill Joyce Ndlovu.
Yes. So she did admit that she did this, the only reason. The other one, which was earlier than that, is that she didn't plead guilty because it never materialized. So I just want to bring that to your attention so that you can. This will cover quite, a broad field of evidence for such things, so that nobody circumstantially may say, well, you haven't dealt with this, therefore it stands. Please proceed with the question.
Thank you, my lord. Ms. Ndlovu, this evidence also before this court where you pleaded, where you confess the conspiracy, that you conspire with Njabulo Kunene, Mr. Mjali, to kill Joyce Ndlovu and her children, and her 5 children.
Kuna mboni la awudzeni Ndlovu lebyi kombetaka leswaku ze unga boxa mhaka ku pfumela hi marito ya n'wana ze unga boxa xikungu ku ri na Njabulo Kunene na Mjali xa leswaku tame ya dlaya Joyce Ndlovu na vana va yena lava va ntlhanu.
a ni pfumelanga jaji u te loko a mi vutisa ivile a va vulavula hi lakhiwe no va ku men planena lakhiwe ku ni ya dlaya Joyce na vana va yena no a zanga ni plana ku ya dlaya Joyce na vana va yena thoma na lakhiwe mkhisi jaji a ku not lakhiwe hi endle mistake no ku mele xi ni xi pfumelaka ni planile ku famba na Njabulo a ku to kill Joyce i swi vulavurisa sweswo English a ni pfumelanga nto a tlhela a phinda a ku to kill Joyce ni ku a ni ali ku ni planile ku famba Bushbuckridge na Njabulo ivile loko ya ha sungula court so judge a ku loko ku ri hi ku a ku na lexi u xi pfumelaka trial ya mahlweni loko to sungula trial.
My lord, no, I never made any confessions. I did not admit to any of that. And I do remember, my lord, it was at the beginning of the trial. When it was put to me that I conspired with, in fact, it was said I conspired with Lakhiwe go and kill Joyce. The charges as put to me, my lord, it was that I conspired with Mjali to go and kill Joyce. I said I admitted, my lord, to traveling with Njabulo Kunene to Bushbuck Ridge. And then I remember even the exact words of the judge. When I said that, the judge said, to traveling to Bushbuck Ridge with Njabulo Kunene to kill Joyce. I said no. It was repeated to say, traveling to Bushbuck Ridge with Njabulo Kunene to kill Joyce. I said no. So I did not admit or confess to anything. I do recall that. It was at the start of the trial.
I do not want to get into some discussions with the accused. I just want to bring into the attention of that during the plea stage, in count number 13, that was a conspiracy to murder Joyce. She pleaded guilty, and she subsequently changed. She said he's not pleading guilty, and that's the reason why I said the record must be corrected. But in count 15, on the alternative count, she pleaded guilty, and then she said she even covered that. And the state refused that to accept that the plea that was given. So let's try to remove all the dust from our eyes and face the facts. So that I just want to deal with it. Counsel is there. I'm just highlighting this so that when I deal with this in my judgment, I shall have the benefit of the contribution. I didn't want it. That's because your plea has been rejected. However, then that turns into admissions. Didn't I say so?
You did, my lord.
Didn't I say so?
I agree, so
That's
much.
all it is.
Yes.
So let's not, I don't want to get into arguments with the accused.
Thank you.
I will expect the counsel to address me on that.
Thank you, my lord.
Please proceed.
And then,
And I was mainly with, highlighting this so that it doesn't remain unattended. Due to the fact that I've said indicated, now some platform, all scratch the record. We have listened to so many witnesses. And then Ms. Soko has the benefit of instructing attorney. But when the state is in a much better position because the investigating officer is actually acting as an instructing attorney. So I was just bringing that to assist in the interest of justice. Please proceed to Mr. Soko.
thank you. Mrs. Ndlovu, there's so further evidence that from Mr. Mkhatshwa that at some times you took a policy where you covered Mr. Morris Mabasa and you did not cover yourself in that policy.
Di twari ke vumbhoni bya Mkhatshwa Henry Dixon Mkhatshwa u hlamusele court leswaku Ndlovu uzoteka police ka yena leyi a wu khavare kumbe ku tsarisa Morris kambe wehe a wu nga ti tsarisangi ku yi hakela eka yona.
This is Morris Mabasa, man.
Can I answer now? Can I respond now?
Yes.
Hlamula man.
Ni tekile police ni tsarisa Morris. Loko ni sungula ku teka tipolisi ka Dixon Mkhatshwa a ni nga se rhandzana na Morris, so already a ni ri na tota me. So hi yo mhaka loko se ni teka liya mani nga tsarisanga ku Morris a ni n'wi eta already me a ni ti tsarisi khale.
Yes, I did that, my lord. In fact, when I started taking policies from Mr. Dixon Kajo, it was before I was in a relationship with the late Morris. So I had my own policies. So as I added him or covered him in these policies, that's the reason why in some of them he was added on the policies where I wasn't covered.
The recent status.
Yes, yes.
Is at that stage when you took that policy, how long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Mabasa?
Se loko u teka yona yaleyo policy yaleyo a swi ri na nkarhi wo tanihi kwihi u kha u rhandzana na Mabasa?
ni sungule ku rhandzana na Morris hi 2011, so kumbe loko bava so on byela ku ni teke hi lembe rini hi datile hi ku tshama swin'we full time hi sungule ku tshama swin'we hi 2012, so kumbe ni nga vula tsundzuka ku a ku ri nkarhi wa ku
My relationship with Mr. Mabasa started in 2011. So if council were to give me a date, perhaps I would be able to remember if the date on which that policy was taken out. We started cohabiting in 2012. That is myself and the late Mr. Mabasa. So, but I'll be able to fresh in my mind to remember if council were to give me the date on which this policy was taken out.
Would you court bear with me, my lord?
Yes. With FPA-QQ, Exhibit QQ, which was taken on the, I think, the 1st of December 2013, 25,000 rand, and then there's also the other one for 80, accidental one, which was 40,000 rand, and because it was then reflected as a spouse, and it escalated to 80.
Yes, but that's what December 2013, indeed, my lord. It was on December 2013 when you took this policy.
According 2013 in December, Mandlo.
xivutiso a ku ri
So what was the question?
My question was, when you took that policy, how long were you in a relationship with Mr. Mabasa?
Xivutiso a ku ri ku loko u yi teka policy yaleyo wena Morris a mi ri na nkarhi wo tanihi kwihi mi karhi mi rhandzana?
loko ri i ya December 2013 ka relationship swi ri se a hi ri na vo 2 years to 3 years.
I think 2 to 3 years. If the policy was taken out during December of 2013, our relationship was about 2 to 3 years old.
So ri vavanuna na tiphilisi la ta pain ni kombela ku nwa kumbe ni ta va kahle ni twa ku vava serious.
My lord, the witness says she is seriously in pain. She has some tablets in her bag and she would like to be given a chance to take those tablets, my lord.
Kumanta ku na le hansi hansi le ta vona tiphaketi ta yi tiphilisi. Wena faka isandla phansi lapha nembhedeni.
My lord, I'm wrapping up. Yes, my lord.
23.
Matipomile. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord.
Give me the assurance that I am now challenging this case.
Why this is Mr. Soko?
Lashik.
I hear.
There was further evidence from Mr. Dix Mukwacha, who testified that after you took the funeral, on that application form, you made a comment and said that the amount, the premium, the amount to cover those people will be enough to bury them. To bury if they passed on, my lord. Yes.
Se kuna vumbhoni byin'wana lebyi nga nyikiwa yena tatani Dix Henry Mukhacha ku ri nkarhi luwa loko u teka tipolisi letiya eka application form ku yo tsala ku mali leyi police a yi ta yi hakela yi ta va yi ringanile ku lahla lava va nga khavariwa lava nga tsarisiwa hi marito yan'wanyana loko vo tshika va lovile.
I mean, ni nga endli ti-comments teleto hi ku a ku ngo va ya ku sungula ni teka ka Mukhanjwa hi polisi ya nga vula ku ve na ti-comments teleto. Ti-comment leti leswi swi va ku swi ri koho kwalaha ka tifomo teta ta vona wo ku hlayela hi a ku byela so u sayini.
No, I'm not the one who made those comments. But not further, it was not the first policy that I took from Mr. Dix Mukhacha. In fact, that information is already on those forms. What happens during the process of taking out such a policy, the representative of the insurance company reads to the applicant what is there, and then you sign at the end of the day. So that's what happened. It was read to me, then I signed. Not that I put the comments on the application form.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further question for the witness.
Would you like to ask whether you covered it with you?
Thank you, my lord. I'll do that. Ms. Ndlovu, have I covered the whole evidence that you, or everything that you wanted to say has been covered?
Mando, ukubona ka wena ka leswi swi nga vulavuriwa hinkwaswo u ehleketa leswaku mi khumbe swilo hinkwaswo leswi a wu lava ku swi vula na?
Va swi khumbile mara kun'wana laha ni vilelaku kona hi laha ka ku loko va ni vutisa ngopfungopfu hi to tipholisi hi ku mhakankulu a ni ri timeda leti va ri i timhaka ta tipholisi. Advocate Soko a nga ni vutisi ku hi tipholisi leti ka munhu wa ku fana na loyi for instance no lava ku mi komba xikombiso loko Morris a lovile hikuva n'wi tsarisile u claimile na ni ku loko ri okay ku evidence yi ko vhele ku ni claimile u claimile u yi pfunile hi funeral na munhu wa so u pfunile hi funeral sa munhu wa so u claimile so na a nga ni vutisi hi mhaka ku na nkarhi wun'wana loko mi za mi ni vutisa hi brilliant na Maheng ni hete ni byela ni ku na ku claima ka vanhu valava a ni claimanga so mara ka leswin'wana hinkwaswo leswi a nga vutisa swona yini erikisekile swo.
Madam, yes, mostly it was covered. The evidence was covered in the examination in chief by Mr. Soko. However, my lord, there was something that was left out regarding the issue of insurance policies. There were aspects, for instance, where I was asked if I claimed after the death of certain people, and I said yes. In fact, the evidence is already there that claims were made, which I do not dispute. But Mr. Soko did not ask me in particular. Say, for instance, in the case of Morris when he passed on, you did not ask me if after claiming I made any contribution towards the burial. And my lord, you'll remember that.
On that score.
If I may just complete the translation, the interpretation, my lord, please. And my lord will recall that on such evidence that has to do with Brilliant and Mayeli, when I was asked if I claimed or not, I said I didn't claim. So there was a reason for that. So, but I was not asked as to why. So such were the aspects which were left
So
out.
she, if I understand correctly, she wants to say, in those cases where, in some cases she did, and then what happened to those
Yes,
monies?
exactly.
Like with the Ashkola, where Mr. Mashaba testified to, or Mr. Mukatwa, there was an internal, book transfer. Or that is the AFCO, where the money was transferred from one, I think it was 32,000 rands to cover the cost. So there is the evidence there that certain payments were in respect of the late Maurice Mashal. That there was money that was transferred because they had life services and the funeral services.
Yes.
So I'm alive to that. But what I'm trying to say, and also, when we go to Gabas and Lucy Mushwana, or this former Mrs. Home, she said there was no, the accused didn't contribute. It was put to her that she made an offer of 15,000 rands, and that was not taken up. So I'm allowed to all those things. And unless he explains, at a funeral you don't make an offer, or make a donation. But Miss Mushwana was, is it Miss Mushwana? Yes. She was the, it's going to be, the national accused that she made an offer. Did I get it correctly, Mr.
Yes, indeed, ma'am.
Did I get it correctly?
Correctly, my lord.
Good. So I'm allowed to do those things. And so, but this is, you haven't dealt with the question of the claims and the contribution to the burials of I think this is getting to be Audrey.
Yes, indeed, ma'am.
Because Homo, we have already had the evidence of the mother.
Yes.
In any event, it's not a contribution.
Indeed, ma'am.
It's not a contribution. It's the money that was, provided for in terms of the policies. Contribution is something that you take out in addition to that. I think that's what you want to see. But anyway, please just canvas those with that.
And, ma'am, during the funeral of Mr. Maurice Mabasa,
Before you proceed, in that regard, my recollection, I think I'm stated to be correct. The amount claimed is in the region of over 100,000 rands. In respect of Audrey, it was in excess of 810,000 rands. But those are if you take that money from the policy, that money was, the beneficiary was the accused.
yes, indeed, ma'am.
But where that money was, but there was also a funeral cover in it. So we've got to be very careful when we deal with it.
Indeed, my lord.
Yes.
Because
Is there any other thing that she wants to bring to the attention in defense of a case? And you must understand the charge is not that she didn't contribute, it's that
Yes.
she killed in order to get the money that ensured her.
Yes, indeed, my lord. That's why I didn't ask about the contribution, my lord. Yes. Miss Ndlovu, besides the contribution, or besides the aspect of contribution, there is any other evidence that you want to
natshemba se
Discord.
u swi twile Mandlovu leswi va swi vulaka kambe handleni ka ku va u lava u pfunetile kumbe ku hlenga loko ku lahliwa loko vanhu lava va lovile ku na swin'wanyana eka vumbhoni lebyi byi nga vekiwa mahlweni ka huvo leswi u lavaka ku swi khumbiwa na kumbe swi vuriwa na kumbe leswi nga sala swi nga vuriwangiki swi nga khumbiwangiki na.
a swi kona a ku ri sweswo ntsena leswi ni nga vulavula hi swona hikuva swi
No.
tikomba ingaku a no tsarisa vanhu lava ni claima tipholisi se ni teka mali ni tshama ni khondla mavoko ni nga endli nchumu so mara so far
My lord, there's nothing else other than what I have just raised, but then it seems like I was taking out these policies, and when these people die, I would cash in and keep the money and do nothing about that. So, but other than that, everything it's covered.
I don't think that is the charge. The charge was that she killed in order to get the money. Whether she make a contribution or not, that is not the charge.
Kahle kahle va ri nandzu lowu hehliwaka hi wona I ku u dlaye ku u ta kuma mali ya ti-insurance hayi ku u ta kota ku hlenga kumbe a wu hlenganga u khomeriwangi kumbe ku hehleriwa ku a wu hlengangi loko u lava lovile u dlayile ku loko ti-insurance ti hakela mali leyi u yi endla wena.
na mitwa mara a ni swi tivi na ndlanga munhu.
I hear you, but I'm saying that I'm innocent. I did not kill anyone.
No, there's no obligation on you to prove your innocence. The obligation is on the state, beyond reasonable doubt, to prove his case.
As le ka wena as le makatleni ya wena ku u kombeta ku we a wu na nandzu ntirho walowo I wa mchuchisi loyi a nga yimela mfumo u kombeta ku himpela u dlayile I ntirho wa mchuchisi hayi wena.
And the other thing that I want to bring to your attention now that you have indicated that you have repeated your evidence is that I'm really going to make this a suggestion for both the state and the accused defense to consider. The accused seem to be in pain, and I'm not quite sure how long will you be with the other witness.
My lord, with regard to that, my lord, my lord, may I have a 5-minute break with the accused because he's after
But,
consulted with the witness.
I don't want to subject
Yes. Yes.
to be insensitive to what she says she's complaining about. I mean, if she's in pain, we have to accommodate that as well. But Mr. Mabunda, how would this affect your transportation of Mr. Ndlovu? But this again comes back to the defense. What did they want him to say? Anyway, let's take a short adjournment, and when you are ready, we will proceed. And I would prepare, if possible, to dispose of the evidence of Mr. Director Gomez. If it's possible.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay. The court adjourns, and when you're ready, please come and break me. Bring me. The court adjourns.
I wonder if